Hey, welcome to 2.6, the distributive property. You hear in the word distributive, the word distribute. So we are going to we are going to hand out the A to everything inside the parentheses. So it's going to be A times B and A times C, which you can see here. In this one, it's the same thing. The only difference is it's the commutative property. We put the A on the other side. So again, A times B, which is B times A, and A times C, which is also C times A. Same exact rule works with subtraction too. A lot of us like to think of it as, oh, is this the double rainbow one? Yes. So if I have 3 times x plus 5, you do 3 times x, you get 3x, and 3 times 5, and you get 15. Same thing here, this just looks a little different. The 4 is on the other side, so you do 4 times x, which is 4x, and you subtract instead 4 times 8, which is 32. So we're going to use the distributive property to rewrite the expression without the parentheses. So in number 1, if you'd like to do the rainbows, that's fine. 1 times 8 is 8. And 8 times 2x, carry down my plus sign. 8 times 2x is 16x. Number 2, same idea. Use your double rainbow. So what's n times 4? 4n. And what's n times n? N squared. And what's the sign in the middle? A minus. Number 3, a little bit trickier. You've got a -5 that you're distributing. So we're going to take this whole -5 and distribute it to the x and the 3. So it's -5 times x, -5x. And what's -5 times 3? -15. This answer is fine. Oops, forgot to box this one. Or there's another way of writing it. Instead of plus a -15, you could say -5x minus 15. Same thing. Excellent. Number 4, it's got a fraction. Yes, you are distributing the fraction. So what's t times -5/6? Well, that is -5/6 t. And remember, the t can either be right in the same place as the fraction bar, or it can be in the numerator. And then I have -5/6 times -6. So I'm going to write my minus. I'm going to write my -5/6 and the 6, and just show a little bit of the multiplication. What it should finally be is -5/6t. I have a negative times a negative, which is a positive, and the 6's will simplify out down to a 5. So my answer is -5/6t plus 5. Number 5, excuse me. Weird, different. You are distributing a secret agent number 1 in the negative form. So if it helps you, you could put in a secret agent number 1 if you'd like a number with this negative. But in a sense, you're basically distributing a negative to the 8 and a negative to the -5p. So what's negative times 8? Well, -8. And what's a negative times a -5p? Or what's the opposite of -5p, which is +5p? Remember, when we call that negative sign or call it an opposite, it really helps, because what is the opposite of 8? -8. Excellent. Number 6, making it a little bit trickier. Again, the number that we're distributing is on the right. And we do -9y times y. So I have a negative times a positive. That means it's a negative. And I have 9 times y, which is y squared. And then my second rainbow, I have a -2 times a -9y. What's a negative times a negative? Positive. And 2 times 9 is 18 times y. So I have -9y squared plus 18y. Simplifying by combining like terms, we've got 4 vocab words we need to know. Coefficient, the number multiplied by a variable into terms, the parts that are added in an expression. Like terms, they have the same variables raised to the same power. And constant term, it is the term that is not a variable. Please push pause and record those all now. So what we mean by coefficient is it's the number in front of the variable. This one's a tricky one because you have a negative there. This one's a pretty easy coefficient. The coefficient is 3, the coefficient is 5. But in this one, you have a negative, so it's actually secret agent number -1. Here, what is our coefficient? Well, remember, terms are actually separated by addition, so you could rewrite minus 3x as plus a negative 3x. So this coefficient is a -3. Terms, how many terms do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Which ones are like terms? Well, this has x to the first power. We don't usually write the first power, but we just assume, again, secret agent number 1. So this has an x, this has y squared, this has x, and this has x. So I could combine the negative x, the positive 5x, and the negative 3x. So this is -1 and positive 5, so that's 4x, and this would make 1x. The other terms I could combine is the -4 and the positive 2, which would equal -2. Constant terms, they are the ones that have no variables. So the constant terms is -4 and positive 2. A variable changes it, whereas a constant has no variable, so it stays. Are these like terms? Yes, they have x raised to the same power the second, so they are like terms. So all you actually do is you add, subtract the coefficient. So I have 6x squareds minus 4x squareds. So how many x squareds do I have? 2x squareds. Number 2, I have -3y minus 2x. Are those like terms? No, they don't even have the same variable. So this expression is already simplified. All right, number 3, 3x squared plus 4x plus 8 minus 7x squared. Do I have any terms that are like? Yes, the 3x squared and the -7x squared both have an x raised to the second power. Now remember, the coefficient here is 3, the coefficient here is a -7. What is 3 plus -7? -4x squared! All right, this is -4x squared, and then I can write everything else, plus 4x and plus 8. And that is as simplified as it is, can be. The other thing we usually do is we write the terms in order from highest exponents down to no exponents, the last term being our constant. Number 4, 3/5 n plus -1/10 n. So I need to have a common denominator in order to add those coefficients. 3/5 is the same as 6/10 if I multiply both the numerator and denominator by 2. So I actually have 6/5 n plus a -1/10 n. Okay, 6/10 plus -1/10 is 5/10. I can add them because they both have the same variable raised to the same power. What is 5/10 n? It is 1/2 n. Great. Number 4, 2 steps. First step is I'm going to distribute this -4. So -4 times y is -4y, and -4 times positive 2 is -8, and I also have a -6y. Is there anything else I can combine there? Yay, my y's. I have a -4y and a -6y, which makes -10y. Subtract 8. If you wrote it as -10y plus a -8, that would also be correct. And number 5, probably our most challenging problem. I have 7x squared, and then I'm subtracting x times all of this. So that means I'm subtracting all of this. So what I need to actually do is think of what am I distributing, and I'm actually distributing a -x. So it's -x times 2x, -x times -9. So I'm going to rewrite my 7x squared. And now what's -x times 2x? Is it going to be positive or negative? Negative times positive is a negative. And x times 2 times x is 2. X times x is x squared. And then I have -x times -9. What's negative times negative? Positive. So I have a positive. And do I say x9? No, 9x. All right, last step. Can I simplify anything else? Can I combine any other like terms? 7x squared, -2x squared. Same like terms. The coefficients 7 and -2 I can add, and that makes 5. So my final answer is 5x squared plus 9x.